Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm here to drop another jewel on another company that I obtained my background check report from. If you guys don't know me, I'm Mr. Amani, CEO, President of Paralegal Nation, based out of Antioch, California. My firm specializes in expunging criminal records, and pretty much what I do is on the side is I help people not only expunge their criminal record, but I also get their record deleted from public databases. So when employers, business professional licenses try to obtain your record, it'll be deleted not only from the courts but also from these major background check companies that a lot of employers use. You can reach me on my website www.paralegalnation.biz. You can go to email me at info@paralegalnation.biz. You can also go to my Instagram page, Mr.Armani1985. You go to my TikTok page, it's under Paralegal Nation, and my YouTube page under Paralegal Nation. And lastly, you can go to my Facebook page, which is under Paralegal Nation. So the background check company that I'm going to do is called GIS. They also is under the umbrella of Hire Right. So that's this right here, this nice little envelope. I'm going to read you the address and everything that is contained in your background check report. So of course, when you get it, first page is going to look like this. Of course, it's my name and all that type of stuff. But I'm going to go over this verbatim so you guys can totally understand. It's not that big, depending on how much stuff you got on your record. So when you get your background check report under GIS, which is General Information Services, their address is 917 Chapin Road in Chapin, South Carolina, 29036. And what you want to do is you want to write just a simple letter asking, can you get a copy of your free report? Make sure you include a copy of your social security card and a copy of your ID. And make sure you include your name, birthday, address, social security number, of course, driver license number, and of course, a copy of your ID and social security card to obtain a free copy of your background check report to dispute information on it. So today I'm going to go over this background check report, and then I'm going to go over how to delete information on there, and I'm going to show you the forms that you need. Again, you can contact me if you guys need help with this. I can do it for you. So when you get your report, you're gonna have a report number. So it's going to look something like this. It's going to be in bold right there. See how it is right there in bold. You're going to have your report number. You're going to need your report number for to be able to delete information, because they're going to need to look you up by your report number along with your personal information to pull up your report. So that's your first page. On the second page of your report, it's going to show your enclosures. So here, this is everything that's within this report. I'm going to go over each thing verbatim and word by word. All right, so in your enclosure, you're going to get report copies, a summary of your rights under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, some of your rights under California law, because I'm in the state of California, your California disclosure notice, and your dispute request form. All those important. All right, so let's go over your report. So the next page after that is a summary of your Fair Credit Reporting Act. A lot of people think that the Fair Credit Reporting Act just works with the big three. It doesn't. It works with any agency that's collecting your information. So we look at Experian, Treasury, and Equifax. That's the big three. Then you got Innovus. Then you got GIS. Then you got Hire Right. Then you got BackgroundChecks.com, Checker. So on and so forth. You got MIB, Medical Information Board, and 500 or more plus background check reports and companies that house your personal information. So your Fair Credit Reporting Act is for any of those. And if you don't know about the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it basically is the rights that you have to have proper information on your report. It doesn't matter if it's a credit report, personal report, background check report, medical report, driver license report. The Fair Credit Reporting Act is for any of those companies that have your information. So, for example, you have the right to ask for a credit score. You have the right to dispute information and accurate information. Let's go over some more rights you have. You have the right to get rid of outdated information. You have the right to freeze your report. You also have the right to opt out and opt in a pre-screened promotions, basically like for credit cards and so on and so forth. So we're gonna go to the next page. It talks about identity theft, and active duty military personnel have their rights as well. The next page is the contact information for the offices in Washington D.C. It's gonna look like this here. Like for example, you got the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. You got the Office of the Controlling of the Currency, Customer Assistance Group, Federal Reserve Consumer Help Center, National Credit Union Administration. So all those different addresses you can contact just in case you need to get a copy of the report or complain to about these background check companies who do not want to follow the Fair Credit Reporting Act. All right, so next page is additional information about the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Basically talk about the summary of your rights provided above does not reflect certain amendments contained in the Consumer Reporting Employment Clarification Act of 1998. The following additional information may be important for you. So records of conviction of crimes can be reported regardless of when they occurred. All right, so then you have the summary of rights of California Consumer Reporting Agency Act. So basically, this is the rules and regulations for your credit reporting act for under the state of California. It's pretty much big. It talk about like what rights do you have. Same thing as the Fair Credit Reporting Act, but just for California residents. Okay, then the next page. Now, so the next page right here is the dispute request form. When you get a copy of your GIS, what you see there, you're gonna get this thing called a dispute request form, and this right here where you dispute misinformation that's on your report. So let's say your name spelled wrong, or let's say your address is wrong. Let's say your driver's license number is wrong. You want to sign it. You want to put your driver's license number, date of birth, email address, first and last name. You can either fax it to them or you can mail it back to them. They got their address right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma that you can fax it to. And then the next page right here is the reason for disputing criminal records. So this is very, very important for those who got their record expunged, who will still continue getting denied employment, because once you get your record expunged, the course is not going to send that information to these background check companies. And a lot of people wonder why they still not getting a job with an expunged record. Well, because nobody is in sync, right? You have to manually pull up these reports and then manually get rid of the information because the courts is not synced with these companies. These companies right here, like GIS background checks, these are third-party companies that are not linked with the courts. These companies get the information from public records. So they just buy a whole bunch of information and then just put it on the report. So how you fill this out is a criminal, like for example, criminal records number. So you put your case number here and the reason why you're getting this getting this deleted off of here. So for example, for a person that has an expunged record, you'll put that this record is about you. This record is about you, but it has other incorrect information. Then you provide the details. Let's say you was victimized by mistaken identity for a crime. You'll put this record is not about you. This record is about you, but it lists the wrong offense or lists a felony when you were convicted of a misdemeanor. This record is about you, but it doesn't correctly show what the results was. And then so it just gives you different reasons on why. So you choose the one that the information is not valid on there. Now you have your background report. This is the main squeeze right here. I'm covering up my name, but this is the background report. So on your background report, it's going to have your name, your address, your date of birth, the date that you requested it, your work phone number, your social security number, the date that the report got completed, and it's going to show your rights for California consumers. Now they do what GIS and Hire, right? They do multiple different background checks. They do a OFAC search, which I'm gonna go over that one. They do a U.S. General Service Administration search. You do an Officer Inspector General search and a National Retail Theft Database. So we're gonna go over a OFAC search. So OFAC search is the first thing that's on your report. So you got your OFAC search, which is here. You got your U.S. General Service Administration search there. You got your Office of the Inspector General search here. And then you got your National Retail Theft Database search there. So a OFAC search, we're going to go over an OFAC search. An OFAC search is right here. So let me get that for you. So the purpose of an OFAC search is states online, it says, an OFAC search known as the OFAC screening, the OFAC scrubbing, and OFAC list screening is a process by which organizations identify whether or not any parties involved in a transaction can be found on watch lists maintained by the Office of Foreign Assets Control, a division of the U.S. Department of Treasury. It also helps to enforce organizations are not conducting business with or someone located in a sanctioned or embargoed country. So that's what the OFAC search is on this report. Now the second one is a U.S. General Service Administration search. So the U.S. General Administration search is an independent agency of the United States government established in 1940 to help manage and support the basic functioning of federal agencies. GSA supplies products and communication for U.S. government offices, provided transportation and office space to federal employees, and develops government-wide cost-minimizing policies and other management tasks. They do a search on that as well. And let's go with the other one. The Office of the General Inspector, the Office of Inspector General. I'm sorry about that. That's another search that they do. I'm gonna go ahead and read through that one. It said the Office of the Inspector General is an independent agency that prevents and detects fraud, waste, and abuse of public funds and public property and promotes transparency and efficiency in government. We serve the residents of, whatever state you're in. Like, for example, read the definition of Massachusetts, state and local governments, and those who work with the government. Now, the National Retail Theft Database, right here, is the last thing that they do a search on. It's for those who've been shoplifting. So what I read was, let's say you've been shoplifting and your name enters their database, and that's considered public information. So the National Retail Theft Database, let's say you've been convicted of a petty theft or you stole out of a store. Well, if they find out who you are, it goes to their database. So let's say you try to get a job in retail or any job that has to do with anything that has to do with stores, and they run a background check on you. Like, for example, GIS and HireRight. Let's say you want to work at Macy's and they use HireRight and GIS for their background check company to put up their potential employer. So what's going to happen is if you're on that database, they're going to be able to see that. Like mine, it says right here, no match found in the NRMA National Retail Database. Because I don't have nothing like that on my record. Actually, I don't have nothing on my record. It's because it's been expunged. So that's it. So this is how you contact them if you want a copy of this report. I'm going to get the address for you. I kind of included it already. But you want to write them and get a copy of your report. So the address is, you're going to put General Information Services. The address is 917 Chapin Road in Chapin, South Carolina, 29036. Remember, just go ahead and write this a simple letter with all your identifying information, a copy of your ID and Social Security card. Ask for a copy of your report. It's for free. You're going to have your consumer rights, Fair Credit Reporting Act rights, and you get the dispute information. It's going to come with the dispute form. Again, it's going to look like this right here. Let me get to it. Right here. So anything wrong on there, you can go ahead and dispute it. Yeah, it's 2 pages because you got to either mail it to them or fax it to them. For those who got an expunged record, that this stuff is still popping up on your background check reports, you're going to fill out this form. Again, if you guys need any help, I sent you guys I enclosed my contact information. You guys have a nice afternoon.